Hello and welcome to another Block Chat. This week we have a really special episode and a special guest with us. This person is somebody who has been leading an amazing company and brand out from the Benelux region, and is somebody who we have been in touch for, I would say, a year or even maybe more, as he was building out his team, the project that we're going to talk about today. And what is exciting about this is because this is the first ever project that will touch the Launchpad on Oceanpoint, and bring the ability for our community of PST holders to get actively engaged with new emerging marketplaces that are being operated on top of Blocksquare's infrastructure. Pascal, welcome to our Block Chat show. Nice to have you
Hi,
here.
Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Pleased to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Exactly. And as I said, we have been in discussions, we have been in connection to each other for quite a bit. And now it's finally, I would say, the time when we officially make our collaboration or launch our collaboration. Where are you currently talking with us from?
I'm talking to you from Amsterdam, Holland.
All right. I see that you're in a kind of a co-working setup. What's happening?
Yes. I'm currently calling you from the Startup Bootcamp co-working space. I think we also informed you about that. We have been accelerated by Startup Bootcamp. We have been incubated by Coliving Ventures early last year, and then earlier this year we were also selected on the DeFi program from Startup Bootcamp. So now we have like two parties pushing us, both Coliving Ventures from Amsterdam and Startup Bootcamp also from Amsterdam, basically.
Very cool. Can you describe us a bit about your past? Like, who is Pascal De Keyser? How did you end up here?
So I'm 50 years old. I look like old, but I'm still pretty much, I would say, inspired and really triggered by all what's going on in fintech, and more specifically in everything which is blockchain. I have a corporate finance background, so I have been into corporate finance and I would say M&A for the past 20 years. Have been working for a large Belgian corporation. Did a lot of real estate investing for them in Central Europe, a lot of greenfield projects. Did also some real estate business for them in other countries in Europe, and have been also working for them on M&A and other projects. But as I said, I have been, let's say, triggered by fintech quite some time. Have been looking into what's happening on the blockchain space, and basically 2 years ago, I was cruising around Portugal and came across a co-living project in the Porto area. And I really started to look into this model, into this type of hybrid living, into this type of community living model experience. And yeah, let's say that the idea of potentially bringing co-living together with blockchain and real estate tokenization somehow started off 2 years ago. And obviously, since then we went quite a track, but that was the initial spark of starting the idea and try to see how we could blend those two I would say trends. And why we think they are blending well is because they are both pretty much community driven, and I think that is a really important let's say driver for both streams, for both trends, and that's basically what we now try to achieve with Portio.
And here you mentioned community, and obviously, you know, what we're announcing today, it's something that is also community driven. But going back to the co-living sector as such, can you tell us a bit more about the trends around co-living across Europe, and why do you feel that this asset class within real estate is so interesting when it comes to investment or when it comes to tokenization? What's your view there?
I think your audience will be pretty well aware that Europe, but I would say the world globally, is really facing a housing problem in terms of affordability and more recently also sustainability. But I think affordability is really one of the key problems the housing market is facing. And we feel that co-living, shared living, this hybrid ways of living is really an impactful solution of solving that problem. Because obviously with co-living, what you are doing is you're sharing space with peers, with people who are like-minded. You're solving some emotional, some personal, I would say potentially problems or aspirations, and by basically bringing the opportunity to a larger audience of potential investors and or users, we are also helping the co-living market to expand within Europe, and let's say then also increase the capacity of the market in Europe. And that's why we believe that tokenization and let's say lowering the entry barrier for people to start engaging with projects, tokenization together with co-living is a very powerful combination.
Because in a way, you are addressing one of the same as an end customer, right? Because when it comes to co-living, a lot of times people that kind of engage or rent out basically the tenants of these facilities are a lot of times younger people that are entering the job market, right? And basically start at the start or the very beginning of their careers, maybe just off of university, maybe already kind of concluding their studies even. But sometimes it's like after a couple of years in a career, they maybe move to another city, and then they try to find a community that they will be spending time with. And obviously, a lot of times when you move around, you don't bring the friend with you, right? But you want to get into a place where you can have where you can find a community, but at the same time, people do have a mindset that maybe down the line, maybe you start a family. Do you see any correlation between being able to access an asset class like co-living and on the other side, kind of putting money aside or value aside for down the road when maybe you are ready to enter the kind of residential ownership market after, I don't know, 5-10 years of this co-living experience?
I think there is a huge potential in this, and as you mentioned correctly, I would say Gen Z is the typical target audience for co-living and shared living spaces, digital nomads, remote workers, flex workers. The younger generation is typically looking for this type of more community-driven lifestyle. On the other hand, there are plenty of studies also showing that these, even being young, they also want to start building up their real estate investing portfolio. They want to build up their own, let's say, portfolio of bricks, if you want. Preferably with projects they have a certain personal, emotional relationship with, they resonate with the values. And co-living real estate investing through tokenization is really, I would say, ticking these boxes. We can offer people to get into co-living projects, potentially become a co-owner instead of a renter, instead of a tenant, because they can start topping up their rent with a certain portion, becoming a co-owner of the property they are using. And when they move to a different city, or when they move out because of family reasons, there is also the potential of basically making the investment liquid, because that's also a big promise of blockchain tokenization, is adding the liquidity layer to the equation. And I think all these, I would say, all these potentials, all these advantages, really makes it a potentially a very compelling offering to a younger generation. And that's why we are very, I would say, looking forward to having this project kicked off with the first project we are now having prepared for launching, and we are really excited to see it happening.
Amazing work, Pascal. Maybe what we can do is to introduce Portio to our community of people. Maybe we can share a bit of information from one of your websites where we can maybe you can introduce us to your team, and we've talked about a bit about the scope of why you are doing Portio. What is the core behind it, right? This impact, making an impact on affordable housing through this community investing. We will touch upon your partners before. We've talked about Gen Z and so forth, but let's go down to your founding team, to your core team that is leading Portio to success.
Yeah, so let's say the story all started officially in September last year, when we were incorporated and then also incubated by Coliving Ventures. And Bart Sassim, which you see on the website, is also a board member within the company and has been supporting the project from, I would say, day one or day two, very early stage. And then obviously we build on further out the team. And I think now we have a very balanced team, blending knowledge in terms of Web3, blending Web3 marketing, blending knowledge in terms of financial and I would say real estate investing. And we also have someone on the team, Andrea, who is actually I would say, hardcore co-living user. She's managing also a non-profit organization, Co-living Hubs, which is basically representing a lot of independent co-living operators across Europe. So she's bringing also together with Bart, the market knowledge to the table on what is happening in the market of co-living, shared living, and what is working, what's not working. Because it's very important for us that we have this insightful sources for us to be able to really, I would say, cherry pick the projects which we believe have a potential of really performing in terms of profitability. So I think with this the team we are now we have in place, we are all set to make it happen, and we are ready to to push forward and to push the button, so to say.
Amazing. So in terms of the market that you're addressing here, can you give us a bit more information on that part?
Yeah, the market has been, I would say, really gaining traction since the past 2 years. Co-living was, for a long time, a more hidden, marginal asset class, unknown to the larger public, and also unknown to the public of the, I would say, more professional investment community. But what we have seen is that because of also the resilience of co-living during pandemic, the interest of institutional investors, professional investors, really gained traction. We've seen it since last year. It was also, let's say, confirmed again during the last MIPIM Expo and Cannes earlier this year, where you can see larger companies like BlackRock and others entering the scene, fueling the industry. So the market will grow heavily during the next couple of years. There will be different ways of growing. I mean, there will be also different forms of co-living. It will go from focused on entrepreneurs to even senior co-living, basically fighting loneliness for people at an elderly stage. So we see that the market is growing fast now, and the number of new projects popping up across Europe is really impressive. And we also believe that it's a sustainable growth because it's just also underpinned by a lot of demographics. There is a structural shortage of housing that is affordable. Population of growth population in cities is really still very important. So there are some, I would say, demographic trends which are also underpinning this movement, and that's why we believe that this is not just like a hype. It's not just like a short-term trend. We really believe in the long-term potential of this way of hybrid living on the long term. And I think having that opportunity and then bringing it together with real estate tokenization, with blockchain tokenization, with the power of blockchain, is potentially a powerful combination.
I think when we were evaluating which of the projects that kind of was looking to launch through the Launchpad, and we really wanted to find a project, a marketplace that is addressing certain core values that kind of align with, I believe, a big part of our community as well. So it's not just about investing and making profit, but as well investing and through that process, fostering change and providing something very useful as well on the market that can last for longer periods of time. And that longevity of co-living, the resiliency that it showed through COVID as well. I think it's a very important factor when it comes to evaluating if to make an investment in a specific real estate niche. And here, Portio kind of ticks all the boxes in terms of the governance board when we were evaluating the project for the Launchpad. And by the way, for our community, tomorrow is the day when the campaign officially launches. And please make sure to have your SBST ready and research basically as much as possible in Portio and decide what amount will you allocate to the project that is kind of raising a total pledge of 100,000 SBST to be able to launch their own marketplace on Blocksquare's infrastructure together with our community. And here, maybe one of the things that we can go towards, and then we can continue our conversation with every project that launches through our Launchpad. We require certain milestones, certain KPIs, basically to be written down. And here, what we have with Portio is certain milestones that I know you here have kind of put down in 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. So the final milestone is in 12 months. Let me zoom in here, and maybe we can talk about this particular 12 months milestone, as this one is the one that will be evaluated after you successfully complete your Launchpad campaign.
Yeah, so really we discussed this thoroughly internally with the team, what we feel is achievable, because the last thing we want to do is overpromise and underperform. So we try to find the right balance between obviously challenging ourselves to make sure that we are pushing, but on the other hand, we also want to have I would say targets which we are feel comfortable in, that when with the correct effort we are able at least to get very close to them. So That's how we came up with this structure, where we basically specified the number of projects we will be launching, the number of events we're going to do to support the campaign and to support also, I would say, the stakeholders within the campaign. And that can be online, but will also be offline events. We are implementing for the second half of the year some marketing and communication event calendar as well. So that's also in progress. We also specified the target amount of tokenized asset value we are striving for, and obviously we put ourselves into a certain target mode in terms of the audience, or the size of the backers, the size of the audience, the size of the people joining projects, supporting projects. That's also one of the important KPIs we set forward. And from now on, or let's say from next week, June 28th, that's going to be our mantra. That's going to be the big KPIs and targets we're going to run for the next 12 months. We have a lot of other things to solve, but these ones for sure will be always in front of us.
Well said. And where can people connect with Portio? Where can they? What's your main channel currently? I know here you list Telegram, Discord, and obviously follow on X. But where's the best place for people to get in touch with you and your team?
The best place is now is Discord, because that's going to be the I would say the community we will be using first, because we are preparing also a very I would say a very important marketing campaign focused on Web3 crypto investor community, and so that's why we will use Discord as the main hub to, let's say, coordinate the activities from there. Obviously, we will have a Telegram channel as well, so it will be dual modes, but this will be the two main ones, and I would say to start with, it will be the Discord channel, which is already up and running and is open for anyone who wants to join.
All right, very cool. So maybe here we can close up the shared screen, and so in short, if I can recap, you have like a very well-versed multidisciplinary team in place with various backgrounds, from tech to finance to marketing. You are putting community first as well. You are targeting an asset class niche within real estate that is trending, that has a lot of demand. Where supply is short in most cities around the world. Co-living is of high demand. And you have already a couple of projects lined up with clear KPIs that you want to achieve in 12 months after the successful campaign on our Launchpad. That being said, maybe we touch upon your process towards Blocksquare in a way, just as out of curiosity, because a lot of times there's projects coming to Blocksquare. Obviously, you're looking at other providers as well. What was the main core factor that kind of influenced your final decision in the end?
Sure, and like you said in the introduction, I think our initial contact was roughly 1 year ago, and obviously during that period we looked at other providers. For sure, you know all of them, but what really made us pursuing with Blocksquare is the fact that there is this you build up this liquidity ecosystem. And that is something which a lot of other providers don't have. I think also the way you are presenting, the tone of voice, the community-driven aspect of Blocksquare itself is also something that is, I would say, quite well aligning with our values. So I think we are somehow matching there as well. I think the community purpose of Blocksquare, obviously the state of the art technology you're providing, because I have been investing and tokenizing through your platform as well. So I'm a little bit of at least an intermediate user. So I felt quite comfortable with using the tech, using the stack from the beginning. So it was like a convincing user experience. That was also important. And as said, having that community of SBST token holders, people potentially being able to support different marketplaces you want to deploy. Yeah, that's an approach, or let's say that's an offering or a possibility a lot of other companies don't have. And I think for a company like ours, where we want to focus on, I would say, scouting, marketing, and financing projects rather than technology, that was, I would say, for us the perfect match. And that's why we pursued this opportunity, and we were obviously very happy to be selected basically a couple of weeks ago, and prepare now the launch of the campaign within basically 10 days.
I think the community aspect is the really the connecting part between what you are doing with Portio and what we're doing at Blocksquare. I think it really overlaps, and I really hope that the launch campaign, which is going to last for 30 days. So starting tomorrow, our community, you will have 30 days time to put your pledge towards Portio if you decide so. For doing it, the benefit is a boosted APY on top of the SBST APY that you are earning in the governance pool already. There's a lockup period that's going to be 6 months for the community and 12 months for Portio. And basically, what you're doing here, you are using your BST and the tokenized license it holds to award it to Portio to be able to operate their own marketplace with your support, but as well, you're getting a vested interest in the success of Portio that will come in the future as they bring more and more tokenized assets to the market. Here, take a bit more time. It's the first time we're doing it. It's the first time that our community is getting engaged in this pledge campaign. But the smart contract system, or the smart contract that has been deployed to create new marketplace pool, has been thoroughly audited by Haken. It received a 9.9 out of 10, I believe, score, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I wish everybody a happy engagement in this first ever marketplace pool campaign with Portio. Pascal, any last remarks that you would like to share with our community? Anything you want to say?
Just one thing I wanted to add is next to the additional rewards you will be, let's say, people who are joining the campaign that will get from Blocksquare itself. We will also launch our own campaign, which will also tie in certain rewards linked to people who are really showing activity and joining. So they're going to be, we also did a lot of preparation from our end to hopefully make it a successful campaign for us, but also for Blocksquare. So we are really looking forward to seeing this happen end of next week.
All right, perfect. So everybody, thank you for watching us again on another blog chat. Pascal, thank you so much for taking your time to present Portio in this call with me. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode, and wish you a pleasant rest of the week. And remember, tomorrow, go to app.oceanpoint.fi and click on Marketplace Pools and discover everything about the Portio campaign. Thank you.